Look what I can do.
Oh, Sasquatch? Oh, yeah, he's like the Sandy Waxler of YouTubes.
Next time he'll get his own ketchup.
All right, giggity. Welcome to Sasquatch Shills, where Mysterio Sasquatch here. Mexican Longhair has finally fallen directly into my trap. Now you'll see who he really is. You'll see. Gotta change. Hey, babe, we gotta change the locks. Changing the locks immediately. All right, we have Captain Curmudgeon's dulcet tones from the battlements of Captain Curmudgeon.
Ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of the blue corner from the mean streets of Berkeley, California, by way of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, put your hands together for the Ugandan headhunter, the California cackler, the Paul Newman of word salad. She ain't Jack or Bobby, but she is Jamaican Punjabi. From Maine to Montana to South Carolina, she's the only VP who's got a vagina. Let's give it up for an artist known and admired the world over, making a one-night-only return in her former gimmick as Black Mask Grim Reaper Ninja Lady. Please welcome Kamala Harris. I don't know about you all, but I feel better having gotten that out of the way. It would have been like stifling a sneeze if I didn't do it. So
I can understand.
What else do we have today?
We have Mexican Longhair sitting backstage. I'm gonna bring him up right now. Hey, brother, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, man? I like Mysterio Sasquatch's kind of veiled threats there. Locks is right, man. You gotta. I mean, do you have surveillance there, man? I mean, am I safe?
You should be safe where you are. I don't know about where I'm at. He's an absolute menace,
right?
Like a total menace. I can't control him at all. There's just nothing I can do for it.
Right.
I even tried gassing him.
Oh, jeez. With what?
Brother? What's been going on?
Not much, man. Same old, same old, same old, same old. You know, another day, another 25 cents.
Maybe if you're lucky.
If you're lucky, that's right. That's right.
That's certainly not on YouTube. You know, we got a whole pile of folks in here.
Oh, really? Who do we got? I could see there. A lot of people I know. Jonathan. Truth be told,
Blue Unicorn gets the gold. We got Truth Be Told gets the silver, and Mama Gnome gets the bronze. Welcome.
Oh, there you go.
Irish Rover in Florida is here.
Irish, what's up?
Seventh Son. 357 beats Sig. 357 Sig beats 9mm. That's a hard one to get out sometimes.
I just say 357, man. Cool cat, man.
Yeah, her cat's 17 years old. That's Princess OPD, folks. If you don't know her, can't wait till you meet her. Keeper of the List has showed up. Welcome to the show. It's good to see you. Drunken Chef Barbecue, BBQ actually. Get that right. Spell it right when you search his channel. I'm hoping to get him in after I get back from vacation.
When are you going on vacay? Because I'm going in September.
Like the 20th or so, 19th. The last show I've got scheduled is I think the 17th. And give me
where
a
you
date.
Going, man? You
Edisto Beach, or actually Edisto Island on the East Coast over here in South Carolina.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to talk to NC Tyrant Hunter and a couple of other YouTubers I know from over in that general vicinity.
All right. Tell them to send me some subs, man. You know?
Dude, I wish I could.
Right.
I can tell you, I picked up about 60 the night I hosted him.
Oh, yeah.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Bam. Now I can't even use my Discord anymore because that thing, he shared my Discord.
Oh, God.
And next thing I know, I've got like 3,000 people in there. I don't have what to do with any of that stuff. It killed my phone while it was charging.
Oh, dear Lord.
Fun for dumb. Fun for dumb?
Always in the sun.
Oh, Fun for dumb, always in the sun. Right. Okay. Gotcha. Jonathan Mazzilli.
Yes, Jonathan. What's up, Jonathan?
Ghost Eagle.
What's up, Ghost Eagle?
Keeper of the List.
Keeper, of course. What's up, Keeper?
He's everywhere.
I like Keeper, man.
All over the place. How you doing, Ghost Eagle? Good to see you. I'm trying not to hit the wrong buttons over here. You know, he did. He meant well, and I have no harsh feelings for it, but I have muted that shit until I can get a grip on it. Sorry. for a minute.
3,000 YouTube subscribers is a whole different animal than 3,000 Discord users.
I don't know how many it was. I just turned it off after about 700 showed up, and I was like, okay, off. Thank you. I'll do that on the laptop if I got to do it.
Right.
You got to mod, man. Mods might be the most important thing on any type of a social media at
Oh
all.
yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
I
have
learned that.
trust.
I learned that the hard way on YouTube, man. Rogue mods really
Rogue
screw things
mods
up
suck.
for me. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
A very clever rogue mod. Check this out. A very clever mod can be in your chat doing something that looks like what you want them to do that's not. For instance, let's say you wanted to limit the number of people who come into a live stream. As a rogue mod, I don't want people in that live stream. What I do when I share links is I share links that take people out of the live stream instead of links that just open up a window for you to go subscribe to.
Mm.
You share those types of links instead of these types of links. It's a very subtle difference, and you might not notice it the first pass over.
Mm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's just a nefarious little thing that you have to watch.
There's a couple of nefarious things, Sasquatch.
There's
Like
you.
they can go back in to your lives. Like after you get done, they can go back in and block people and just delete comments
Right?
and just cause a lot of havoc. I had that happen to me twice and had to take care of business. It's just
I
it
filtered
sucks.
that. I had to get a grip on it from the word jump because I
Mm.
had a sneaking suspicion that this might be a fairly popular concept. It kind of exploded on its own at first, like under its own steam for some weird reason, because it is a little different. It's not quite the same as everybody else's panels. And you know what I'm saying? It's just different, and
Mm.
different goes well at first. But it never crossed my mind that somebody would show up and want to harm the channel, except for the fact that I was that guy before.
Mm.
So what I did before I even started the channel is I went and got these people who I knew would back up the status quo as I would appreciate it. Asked them to mod, and when they all agreed, I finally said, "Okay, I'll start the channel." And I've got a couple that are typically backstage. If they're not actually in chat, I got two that never, ever, ever chat. You'll never see them. Although they may do somebody out. I've only seen it happen once.
Mm.
But and then there's Swizz Miz when she's available. And if
Mm.
there's any doubt, ask her. She'll tell you what to do.
Yeah.
Any doubt at all? How'd you pick up your mods?
Man, I got really lucky, Sasquatch. I
Me
just
too.
started like everybody makes the same mistake, right? When they join YouTube, you see people, oh, you're a cool person. Let me mod you and you and you and you and you. And before you know it, you have like 40, 50 mods, right?
Yeah.
Well, I got, like I was telling you, I had some rogue mods like the first time and I had to weed down like I took everybody's wrench and that was a whole ordeal. People were so
Yeah.
pissed
People
at
got
me.
upset. Yeah.
Yeah, they were really mad, like it was some sort of personal thing, and it's like it wasn't personal. I just had to pare down. Like I didn't want to accuse anybody of being a rogue mod. I didn't, none of that. I didn't want any drama. So I unwrenched everybody and then I I had a good inkling of who were some good mods based on what I've seen in other chats
Right.
and whatnot. And I kind of pared it down from about 50 to about probably 35 or so. And then it became I still had a rogue mod, so I had to do the same process again, piss off even more people, right? And then I finally got some good advice from somebody that said, look, when it comes to mods, get your circle as close as you can to what you want, and then have that.
Yes,
And
sir.
you're gonna have to make some really tough decisions on people, and it's gonna be, it's gonna be heart wrenching to you. and it may hurt you, but it's going to help your channel in the long run. And I'm very confident in the mods I have now, no doubt. It's a long process, man, and you have to
Can be.
constantly keep on it, and constantly check your videos, your live streams, especially, like when you have chatters and stuff, and because it's not fair to your chatters if they're chatting and then after the fact they get their comments deleted. They get hidden from the channel. I was paranoid about it. I was like to the point where I was checking almost every 3-4 hours. I would check just to make sure nobody, did anything nefarious. And it's been good now. I'm very confident in the ones that I have now for sure.
I cheated, as with all other things that I've acquired. I cheated to get it. Um, what I did was I started with those particular mods I mentioned, and then as I was inviting guests on, I would mod them for the show, and then get to see how they reacted to that modding one at a time.
Hmm.
They'd be modded for a week, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and either they show up and do something, or show up and don't do anything, or don't show up at all. If they didn't show up at all, they got unmodded. If they showed up and helped out a little bit, they kept their mod status. Some of them that didn't do anything kept their mod status because they're safe, as far
Right.
as I can tell. But you got to watch it. You do.
Yeah. And then, people can turn on a dime just because they like your channel 1 minute, doesn't mean the next minute that they don't, it's just,
Absolutely.
I don't know. It's a bunch of BS, and it's YouTube stuff that you have to go through and experience to know exactly what I'm talking about, or what you're
Well,
talking about, or anybody that owns a channel. It
be
just
true. How many
it,
mods do you have, though? I got a dollar that says you can count them all on both your fingers and toes.
probably, I think I have less than 20 now.
Right.
Um,
I'm
I
talking the
it
truth. He's
I
saying he's never had that problem, and I'm like, that's because you only have like 9 mods.
right, right. Keep it that way. Truth
Yeah,
be
keep it
told,
that way.
keep it that way, man. Trust me, it'll do you good in the end. And even then, you got to check every once in a while. But you know,
Exactly.
it's you know, it's a part of YouTube life that you have to learn real quick. And I have added a couple of more mods just because I trust a certain number of people. But and my channel's growing, and I know it's gonna I'm gonna need more mods as it gets bigger. So rather than worry about that shit later, I just let's just take care of it now, and not worry about it. Just go on and keep doing what I'm doing. That
Wow.
is my chest right there.
It is
Uh,
apparently your chin and chest,
yeah,
what you call a chin, I suppose.
that's I do
Is
have one. I'm just not.
is
It's
that
not a
what you call a
train.
beard?
Yeah, well, it's not the Sasquatch beard, but it's definitely a beard.
Okay, I'll give it to you. It is definitely hair upon one's face. The beard, not necessarily.
yeah.
I love you,
Um,
dude. I'm just playing.
this was interesting. I was watching. Regan had told me about something that was going on over here, so I kept watch for her, and the whole time I thought I had my camera turned the other way, and it was just facing towards me, and I didn't notice it until probably about. I mean, I think I walk around the block here, actually jog around the block, and it's still, you're still looking at me, which is a scary thought, but yeah. Um, but yeah, that was. I mean, nothing really happened there, to be honest. But it was an interesting video,
I
nonetheless.
keep
I mean,
forgetting you're monetized.
what's that?
I keep forgetting you're monetized.
Yeah, I don't on my lives. I don't monetize any of the lives. So if you catch me live, you're not going to see any commercial interruptions, and I do that on purpose. I'm one of the few YouTubers that does not have everything automatically set to monetize. I have to go in and then after the fact monetize after the fact. I think that's a good benefit for people that are actually there live. They don't have to deal with the commercials. But of course, if you catch it after, then I mean, a few 5-second commercials, no big deal. Just deal with it. But yeah, I mean, I do a couple of things that I think are different than the norm. on my channel. You know, I don't. It's not about money. I do
Well,
appreciate the money,
you know,
but
very different thing. One very different thing that you do that I haven't seen anywhere else. I've seen other people use the same system, but not the way you are.
hmm,
Your drone footage looking for the homeless sweeps are absolutely priceless.
yeah.
You may
Okay.
not quite nailed it yet, but you'll get it if you keep trying. You'll hit the $10,000 mark on a video. Just keep
Right. Right now, I'm glad you brought that up because, to my knowledge, Sasquatch, I'm the only person that's doing drone footage of homeless sweeps in Denver. The
trying. To
only
my
one.
knowledge, you're the only person I know of doing drone footage of homeless anything other than just go and look at how expansive it is.
Right. Right.
Right? These
Eh,
people, whether what they're doing with their drone footage is debatable, but what you're doing with your drone footage is admirable.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I wish more people would do it because it's a fantastic tool, to see what exactly is going on in Denver, with these homeless sweeps. It gives a different perspective. And you're right, Sasquatch. I've got a long way uh, to go,
I
uh,
don't. I think you
but
just get lucky one time.
right, right. And
If
I'm
you'll
out there.
feel how it feels, and it'll feel right, and you'll start going to the right places.
Right, right. Now, I've been getting lucky because Denver's doing something fairly nefarious. They change their tactics all the time so that they're not on camera. They don't want to be on camera. That's why they have fencing around a lot of these homeless sweeps. They don't want to see what's going on, um, in inside the fences, right? And that's the purpose of the drone. And right now, I mean,
It's the same video.
is it
I'm
the same one?
sorry.
It's okay. You clicked the same one. That's funny.
Just randomly.
Um,
Kansas.
oh, this one is with Joe
This is a great
Cool.
one of my favorite bits you ever occurred on your test. And it's a great commercial too. I think everyone should sit and fucking watch it because it pisses me off to no I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good. I don't know why it pisses you
I
off.
had YouTube Premium for like a week and I didn't sign up for it or nothing. It just happened and then it went away. I don't know.
I'm actually gonna get rid of Netflix and get YouTube Premium for sure. That's one of the ones that I want to get. But
Uh,
yeah, because I watch a lot of YouTube, man. I learn a lot, you know.
yeah.
But
I watch a lot of YouTube, but it's because I'm autistic and I tend to hyper focus on things.
mm, mm,
So this is an outlet for that hyper focusing that doesn't seem to be detrimental to the rest of my life.
right, right, right. um, I'm glad you brought that up, Sasquatch, because I feel like I'm a lone wolf when it comes to drone footage, when it comes to homeless sweeps. I mean, I know people are getting really sexy drone footage videos on YouTube, like with the really cool aerial shots of like going in and out of things and
Uh-huh.
stuff like that. And that's cool. I'm practicing that too, and I've got a few videos that I've actually done of just regular drone footage, but as far as these sweeps go, I think it's an invaluable tool, and it's very stealthy. Like, nobody knows I'm even there, and that's the
They
point.
don't know you're there. They can't call in and have you harassed.
Right, right.
That's
Which is another
brilliant.
important thing. It's safer, in a way. It is safer because, I mean, I'll park a few blocks away, and there's no way for them to really know what I'm doing. I mean, I just um, fly on over. I make sure that there's no, like aviation paths or anything in there because that's a whole separate issue.
Right.
To deal with. Um, but they're doing something a lot different now, and it's something that's going to make it harder for me. Instead of being a very small concentrated area that they work on, they they will expand it to like a 2 3 4 5 mile radius, where at least the information that I'm getting, oh, they're going to be sweeping over here, right?
And
And
that are very general
it's
situation.
very general, because it is public information. The public has the right to know where they're doing all this stuff, right? So
Yeah.
when I get this information, um, it's changed from very specific blocks to like now 2, 3, 4, 5 mile radiuses, and it's like it's really hard to find them. I the last drone footage that I got, I'm glad I got it. It was really tough to find, but I just happened to the corner of my eye seen some fencing, and I was like, well, maybe that's where it's at. So I kind of turned my vehicle around, and that's when I found the last bit of footage there that I thought was fairly disgusting. I mean, tents being thrown away, bicycles. I mean, I've had people actually comment and say, well, the bicycles are used for meth running and all this. And I was like, for one, I'd like to know how you read minds and know exactly what those bikes are used for. And two, it's none of your business what people do with their own shit, so
Right. That's where
um,
that's my problem with the whole situation.
yeah.
I can't necessarily agree with people living on the streets of a busy intersection or whatever, depending on circumstances.
Well, and neither do I because it's dangerous, right?
It's
The
dangerous,
danger
right?
factor, especially in the winter here, you know.
But does a municipality have the authority to remove people to extraneous locations where there definitely is not enough infrastructure to deal with them?
Mm.
I don't know. Apparently, Denver seems to believe so. And I know
Den-
back in the 50s and 60s, they would regularly roll out the fire hose.
oh yeah, yeah. They
And
didn't give a shit back in the day. I mean, they did that with black people, man. I mean, if they didn't like you, you were gathered, and they'd just pull out the hose and say, "Here you go, get the fuck out of here." I mean, that's the way it
well, they did
is.
it to homeless in general,
Yeah,
vagrants. What was the term? Itinerant farmers.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
no such thing as an itinerant farmer. You cannot itinerantly farm. You have to plant the seed and stay until it grows.
Mm,
So
mm,
that's not an itinerant person.
yeah,
We're talking itinerant pickers, which are a different thing, you
mm,
know? And
yeah,
so the label of itinerant farmer was hung on just about anybody that didn't have a home.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was better than homeless, I guess.
Right.
But
It's Denver is it's not unique. I mean, it's like any other major city, Sasquatch. I've been to Los Angeles. I've been to, some of these bigger cities that have, a lot of the same problems. But the problem is Denver is handling it. They're going down the path of Los Angeles. In Los Angeles now,
well,
it's
it works out so very well over them, right?
what's that?
It's an absolute flawless plan.
To them.
No
I
holes
mean,
whatsoever. Los
well,
Angeles model, yeah.
yeah, the
What we
Los
do,
Angeles, basically what the Los Angeles model has done is made homelessness a crime, which I believe is a crime against humanity. Because if you fall on hard times, I've been there, Sasquatch, where I've had little to nothing, right? Um, and I've been, I don't want to say homeless, but as close to homeless as I could possibly get, right?
right.
And it just pains me to know that in a big, you know city like Los Angeles, which is supposed to be super liberal and one of these bastions of people's rights and all this type of stuff, have criminalized something that can happen to any of us, and that's why I do what I do, right? I mean, I made it a mission of mine to help as much as I can. I know I don't make a big difference, but if I can inspire maybe one person to do some of the things that I do, then maybe we're on to something, right? And maybe that one person can inspire someone else, and et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So it's just it's hard, Sasquatch, because and I know what Regan goes through. Regan Benson goes through.
Dude,
Also,
that woman is an absolute tank of a personality.
she is, but she's also a
Rolling through
human
everything
being.
in front of her. Yeah, true. But
You know,
she has an Ironside's capability of rolling through disinterest
right,
and dislike equally.
right, right.
I'm
The
impressed by.
the problem is, and I'm running into the same problem that Regan is lately, Sasquatch, is it gets to the point of is anybody listening? It's that old Pink
Mhm.
Floyd song. Is anybody listening? Does anybody really care what's going on out there? I know that there are people that care, but what are we doing about it? Are we just sitting watching life go by, and hopefully people like me or Regan can take care of this stuff? I mean, is that what really is going on? Or but I have to say I've been quite encouraged. At the same time, I've been discouraged. I've been encouraged by, the big time influx of support, the comments, the donations, uh,
Hmm.
the the kind words. I mean, these are the things that kind of fuel me. But then you have the opposite, and I don't pay attention too much to the haters. I mean, I've had hate mail. I've had a veiled death threat. I've had people
Have I
like,
ever told you about my death threats?
no, no. Why would anybody give you death threats?
Let me tell you about a small minor error that Sasquatch made early in his YouTubery days.
Yeah,
All right, so I was doing shorts and jokes and stuff, right?
right.
Still trying to get a grip on like angles and cameras and stuff. And I had this bright red vintage shirt, looked really good on camera. I have this amazing Muslim prayer cloth that is the same shade as that shirt.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Put on the shirt, put the prayer cloth up, was filming jokes in front of it,
Yeah.
and everything was fine for 150, 200 subs. And
Yeah.
then I got my first death threat explaining what he would like to do with my head. And then another, and another, and another. And finally, I was like, what in the actual free floating fuck is going on here? What is the problem? Explain the problem. And finally, a nice Muslim gentleman explained to me that it is disrespectful to tell jokes in front of a Muslim cloth. I said, well, I'll make you a deal. I'm not going to take them down, but
Right.
I will remove the cloth from future jokes. He said, you will probably never have another problem.
Okay. Well,
And
that's good to know.
and he's still subbed to the channel, and we've occasionally emailed a few times. He's a pretty cool cat.
Yeah. Yeah. I just
Communication is key.
I'd never gotten a death threat in my life, Sasquatch. It was to me it was jarring. I had to do a little bit of self-reflection and think about things, and wonder, if what I'm doing is actually making a difference and if it's worth it, right? But
Right.
but I came to the realization that I can't let anybody down, right? I have Bernie by my side. She's been with me from the start of this thing, and that's a big motivating factor as far as I'm concerned. I have now 3,000 people, which I just reached yesterday.
Oh,
Um,
congratulations, dude. That's amazing.
Appreciate it.
I
Yeah,
really,
it
I
is
really
cool. It
bless you.
really is, man. I mean, I always tell the story about how I had another channel for 14 years, and I joked that I got a sub a year because I had 14 subs, right? And this channel has been completely different. It caught a little bit of fire, and that's really good, and I'm really happy for it, because and that alone lets me know that I'm doing the right thing, right? That people enjoy what I do, and it's a good thing. I'm not doing anything that is detrimental, even though people want to tell me that almost on a daily basis. The haters, right? The bootlickers,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you're not helping the situation. You're causing more problems on these streets and blah 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 and all this, and I just have to laugh at that shit because it's just hate, and somebody put it to me best. They said, you know you're doing something right when you get that hate.
That's
And
true. You don't get flack unless you're over the target.
right. And if somebody wants to beat me up on the streets, I mean, they're gonna do what they want to do, because they just have hate in their heart, and that's just the way it is. We'll just have to handle things accordingly. But I'm capable of protecting myself. I know what I'm doing, um, and I'm not gonna stop. I mean, that's the whole shebang. I don't want to. Um, I my intentions were never to ruffle any feathers, or cause anybody any type of issues. But if you're going to be upset because I'm going around feeding homeless people, or or I'm doing stupid videos on my channel, or anything else that I do on my channel, watching cops. I don't care. This is the United States. People, you know, people are free to do this type of stuff, at least as of right now. So, as long as we have those freedoms, I'm gonna flex them, and that's the whole point, is to kind of test those freedoms out, if you will, and I just have a different way of doing it. There's a lot of people out there that are way more vocal than I am when it comes to cop watching. Um, there are people that are more fierce homeless advocates than me, like Regan Benson. There are people that are way funnier than I am. Like there's people that are doing what I'm doing at a much better pace and
I don't
veracity.
know if there's anybody quite doing what you're doing, dude. Not quite.
Well,
It's totally unique. I mean, you get out into the homeless population, you go talk to them, you bring them food, you chat with them for a minute, sometimes on camera, sometimes not. You're in it. Some of these people are just riding by and filming it.
right.
That's a totally different critter.
Well, and then that's another thing, every time I do, like, for instance, when I go cop watching or auditing, like, you do put your life on the line because first of all, let's just get it out there. It's in the name, Mexican long hair. My skin is a little bit darker tinted than the average American. Uh, Plus, doing what I do is just inherently dangerous. It's
Yeah. It's
even when I
dangerous for more than one reason.
right,
You have the inherent danger of walking around at night in a big city,
right,
and the inherent danger of being involved with the homeless in a big city,
right.
and then further the inherent danger of dealing with cops in a way they don't appreciate.
Right. That's
But
another thing. And I joke around with KDOT a lot. We're in alignment, right? KDOT and I are very close, and he does activism probably a lot
yeah,
better than I do. But
he's where I got the word proactivist.
right. And um, we really do risk a lot when we're out there, man. Like the other day, this was about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, where him and I got assaulted by a police officer. It was wholly unnecessary what happened out there, and you could tell these guys um, really would like to have an agenda. They would like to put hands on. There's the cop that didn't put their hands on us. His name was Officer Ramos, is a complete and utter failure as a police officer, in my opinion. I think he's a rogue officer. I think he's dangerous, and he's going to get one of his officers killed one day, and his fellow officers. And it's really sad, and I wished it wasn't like that. Like, I really wish there were psych evaluations for these officers, because I think that would weed out a lot of the riffraff, and possibly you could be on the right track with that. Now, there's other things like training and budgeting and other shit that is in conjunction with that. But the mental health of these people, I actually feel really sorry for a lot of them. I don't feel bad for them because they chose their path, but I actually have what they lack, and that's empathy. I really empathize, and I feel bad because their mental state um, is not the best. And I'm sure if a psychologist was to survey a lot of them, I'd venture to say that at least 70% have psychopathic tendencies, and that's exactly what we don't need on the street. We need people that are empathetic. I'm not saying everybody has to be a wuss and just let everybody go for every single crime, but discernment is one of the things that's in their arsenal. And I always said, Sasquatch,
Discretion.
and I know this might be a little controversial, but in my view, I think that they should get accolades for the least amount of arrests, not the most of amount.
Right? I tell I did okay. Let me say this right, because it's kind of a confusing statement. I've had problems explaining it before.
Mhm.
When I was in high school, I had a crazy literature teacher, who would ask the students to come up with a new form of government as a thought experiment.
Yeah.
I said, let's keep the form of government we have right now, but instead of voting for people, you vote against them.
Hmm. You're doing the negative balance theory. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you do the negative balance, you have, ironically, and this last election kind of proves it, people are more willing to vote against something than they are to get up and go vote for it.
Right. Right.
And
No, I see the logic for
in
sure.
studies and tests, it has been determined that when people are left to their own devices, there is almost twice as much turnout for a vote against something.
Right. Right. I actually think there's another inherent problem with the country in general, Sasquatch, and it's the two-party system. I've said it many times on my streams. I hate it because it by its very nature divides the country in half. Right? You got
Two
half.
party system's the death of a two party system because
Right.
inevitably one
Washington said it.
party will definitely overrun, and then you eventually have a one party system like California or inner Denver.
Right. That's exactly right. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's not a Democrat versus Republican thing as much as it is a division thing, right?
It's
And by its
just
very nature, I mean,
yeah,
you're forced into one camp or the other, right? You have the identity politics on the left, and you have the fiscal responsibility on the right, right? And it's all a sham. It's all bullshit. They all work for one team, and that's the
it's on
donors,
the same bird.
right? It's the donors. It's the corporations, right? I mean, everybody wants to cry free market, whether you're on the Democratic side or the Republican side. Free market, free market, free market. Well, the free market is killing people in real time, right? And I see it every day on the street. I mean, there's
At warp speed, one could say.
right. I mean, you can see it on. I mean, this is another reason why the mental health toll on people like Regan is understated. And myself, I've talked about it more than a few times on my channel. I have to I have to swallow a lot of emotion when I do a simple Colfax run, which I think you're looking at Colfax right now on the screen. It's the longest continuous commercial street in the United States. It runs about
Mhm.
24 straight miles from the foothills all the way to almost the Eastern Plains. But when I go down this street, I mean, it hurts my heart because I can't always do homeless outreach, right? Like when I'm on a cop watch, I'm specifically looking for a cop watch, right? And we don't have scanners in Denver, so that's why I use Colfax as the main vein of everything that I do, right? It's interesting. There's always something new that I see on that street. But one thing that's pretty consistent is the homeless people on Colfax. And a lot of these people I've reached out and I've helped with food and water and as what little money I have and stuff like that. And when I can't go out there every day and say, here's something to eat at least to get you through the day, it does put a tear in my eye, and people don't see that. They don't see that on a consistent basis, and it's
It
rough. It's rough on
is.
the psyche more than
No
anything.
one sees anything that's on the other side of the camera on YouTube.
Right. Right.
Most people never bother uploading a single video or only upload a handful and then get distracted and do something else.
Right.
Very few people actually come to YouTube with the intent of being a YouTuber.
Right.
Most people just fall over into it. They upload a video and then another one, and it works.
Right. And they
Roll
get
with
lucky. Right. Right. I put myself in that category,
it too.
Sasquatch. I've been extremely lucky on my channel, and I count my blessings every day, even though there's no money to be had in it. It's given me um, a purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's given me direction. It keeps me on point. I don't have a schedule. I tried doing a schedule thing, and it didn't work out for various reasons. I mean, usually I do homeless outreach on Mondays, but I got to thinking about that, and I'm like, I don't always want to be on camera doing this. I don't always need to show everybody, hey, look what I'm doing. Um, to me, it's narcissistic to always want to do things for the camera, for your audience. I don't know. I just think that uh, some things need to be left off camera.
I agree. I agree. A perfect example of that type of stuff. When I become agitated about something, like I said, slightly autistic here, I hyper focus.
Hmm.
So when I thought I was out 40 grand, I stopped YouTubing entirely. No appearances, no nothing. I just vanished. Because if I had had any type of open mic on any of that, my ass would be sued for libel before the day was over.
Hmm.
Actually, whichever it was that's spoken word slander. On a public platform, man, I couldn't keep my teeth together on that one. It
Yeah.
made me so mad. Turned out I didn't have anything to worry about. I'd done my proper homework.
Right.
Everything was good, but I didn't know for 3 weeks.
Right.
So I was very agitated about the whole situation. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of behind the scenes things that go on that can derail a day or a week or two, and But I did take some advice. When I first started the channel, I was going hard, Sasquatch. I mean, every day I was doing that Colfax run. I had no idea really what the hell I was doing, but I was doing that Colfax run, right?
yeah, but you're doing it.
Right, but I was doing it every single day, right? Like I didn't miss a day, and some friends of mine, they basically got me in an intervention, and they said, MLH, if you don't slow down a little bit, you're going to burn yourself out, and you're not going to be able to do what you need to do. And I was like, I took their advice into consideration, and it wasn't shortly after that, probably a couple months after that, I was starting to feel the burn. You know what I mean? And it's a real thing. Burnout is
Well, there's more to it than that. It's
right,
not just the burnout. The filming is only part of what it takes to do YouTube. A lot of
right,
people don't understand how much background networking goes into growing a channel.
right,
500 subs, you get your first actual tool to use, your
right,
community tab. Suddenly you can reach people that have never seen your channel.
right, right.
You know, previous to that, the only way to recruit viewers was to go to live streams, go to comment sections,
Mm,
go into the YouTube streets and lay about yourself with your smart ass mouth.
right,
That's
right.
just
It's a funny story that you mentioned that Sasquatch, because when I started the prerequisite to go live was you needed 1,000 subscribers, right? And I was like, that was la la land for me, right? I already told you I the max I wanted was 50. I planned on 50. If I could get to 50, boy, I was like super proud, right? And then I got scared all of a sudden. Like I woke up and I was like, there's 200. I was like, holy fuck, like
who
what
are these
I must
people?
be doing something right. So then I was like getting really excited, right? I'm like, okay, I'm, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 700, right? And it gets to 800, and I was like, you know what? I might actually get enough to go live here. And so it got up to 900, and I got really excited, right? I was at literally 996 Sasquatch. And the
Uh-huh.
next day, I kid you not, YouTube lowered its requirement. Now you only need 50. And I was like, son of a bitch, man. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's just like getting your minimum wage raise wage above minimum rate.
right,
Your minimum wage raise above minimum wage, and then minimum wage goes up, and you're
right.
still making minimum wage. It's
Oh
like
man, I was
been here for
so
6
heated.
months. What the fuck am I doing here?
Right. So needless to say, that day I did hit 1,000. I was like, oh yay, I hit 1,000. Thanks everybody. I was like, it was kind of bittersweet because I was like, well, now everybody pretty much can go live on YouTube, and here I am.
Well,
Just-
I got another secret for you, dude. You can start a channel tomorrow, and I'll have you live by tomorrow afternoon. No subs, no nothing. And it's all
oh yeah,
because
no,
like StreamYards,
yep,
Restream, the
yep,
podcast give you an equivalent amount of power
yes.
on YouTube
Yeah.
as a actual news network.
Well, you remember the other channel I told you I had 14 subs on? I've been live for 14 years, Sasquatch, doing
Right?
doing that
They
very thing.
take the requirements, and so it's
Right.
grandfathered in. It
Yeah.
doesn't get any push, however, in the algorithm.
I
YouTube
had I had
pushes.
I don't want to say who, but I had a kind of a prominent semi-prominent YouTuber give me some shit, right? And it was kind of a little tiny beef, and they were like, well, you know, um, I helped you get to where you are and all this, it was a bunch of malarkey, right? But I can't remember where I was going with this. Lost my train of thought, man. Maybe it's the lack of weed in my system right now, but no, basically, just that
I got
it
an
was
intermission tune if you want me to put it.
right. Well, no, basically, what my point was going to be, I'm very happy that it happened that way, because I know I really worked for each and every one of those subs, all the way up to 3,000 now. I see a few people in chat, talking about it, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I always said, I've heard people say, I want to earn your sub, right?
Right.
Well, I added something to
Good
that.
point.
I added something to that. I was like, not only do I want to earn your sub, I want to keep your sub. That's the thing. I mean, it's not that it's inherently difficult, especially if you have a compelling channel, to get subs, but how do you keep them? How do you keep people interested? And I think I've
Right.
done.
Okay, so here's the weird thing I ran across when I started my channel.
Yeah.
I found it was very easy for me to film some shorts and get subs.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
tell you have a little bit of a turn of phrase, have a sparkly nature about yourself, a good eye for scenes, and you'll get subs. Just
helps to
upload.
be good looking too, Sasquatch.
I
Definitely
would
helps to be good
think
looking.
about that. So the trick there is it doesn't count. It's useless. Those subs are absolutely useless. The only good that comes from those subs is 1% of the shorts people will take a look at a long form video. They might show up in your chat. Maybe
if you're lucky.
But shorts go all over the world.
Yeah, that's true.
I have probably 250,000 of my views are from shorts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
So
Those
that's how
shorts.
views don't count for me.
Yeah, I know, right? I wish you could get big time money from those, but the money for shorts is even way less than even for regular views, man. It's like, it's pathetic. Smoking Auditors saying, "Hey, MLH, take a minute and puff down." I don't smoke during the day.
7 minutes. Can you give me 7 minutes? We'll go to after dark. You smoke anything you want to.
No, I'm not. I don't smoke during the day. Plus, I got to go get Bernie later, so it's not. I don't. I'm not. I'm not going to do that.
Up to you, brother. I'm not pushing you. I'm just saying 7 minutes.
No. I hear you, but no, I don't. That's something that I've made a commitment to my audience, and Bernie, and just myself in general, that I don't. I need to be lucid during the day, especially doing what I do.
Honestly, without proper medication, I am an absolute unbearable asshole. If
Yeah.
you want someone putting a roof on your house sober, I'm the man to call.
Right.
I am an absolute perfectionist. I will not stop until every single bit of it is flawless. And if I don't like it, I will rip that summit apart and put it back again
Right.
from scratch, because it's got to be right or it ain't right. Little autistic. Now that has its place.
Yeah.
But it's not in a jackleg carpenter stand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got to get the job done, piecework especially.
Right. So when I was working, I always invariably ended up being slowly shifted into a working by myself scenario, because no one else would do the level of perfection that I insisted on myself. If it was wrong, it was wrong. It's just fucking wrong. I'm sorry.
Right.
That's not my fault. It's not your fault. We did it wrong. Let's fix it.
Right on. WTF is in chat. Apparently Jonathan sent WTF. What's up, WTF? Welcome to Sasquatch's awesome show. I hope you stick around and sub.
Oh, I forgot to do my whole intro bit. My bad. Welcome to Sasquatch Shills, for Sasquatch Shills, so you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I had to, because you didn't make that disclaimer, Sasquatch.
Right.
So,
You go for it, man. As somebody in chat earlier was like, "What's the point in calling yourself a shield if you don't get paid?" Because it's hilarious. It confuses the living shit out of everybody.
Well, I mean, you can be paid in kindness, right? I mean,
I've met some of the greatest people, like an abstract look. Great guy.
Tom is a great dude, man. If you guys aren't subbed to
Ozark Yeoman, great people. Captain Curmudgeon, another great guy.
yeah.
He's hilarious, by the way. In person, he is absolutely hilarious. Like not good for YouTube, but hilarious.
Right. I smoked 2 joints before I smoked 2 joints, Aurora says. Yeah, I'm with you, Aurora, but I only do it when I'm safely at home after I've done my business for the day. You know, that's my way of doing it, you know.
But yeah, adult first.
Yeah.
Always adult first.
Yeah.
Same thing with alcohol. You will not catch a single hint of alcohol on me unless I have absolutely signed off adulting for the day.
You know, I think I'm gonna sign off on alcohol. Period, Sasquatch. I've noticed, like the other day, Bernie and I went to Chili's to enjoy a bit of respite in a sea of madness, right? And I had a couple of margaritas, man, and they tore my stomach up, man. I can't handle alcohol anymore.
Are you
Or
sure it's alcohol and not that green shit?
no, it was the alcohol because even like something like beer, I really like beer. Like that's my one of my favorites. You know, I'm not a connoisseur or anything, but man, I really like a good
Why do you
Modelo.
craft
Yeah, craft beer, whatever. I mean, I like beer, right? Coors is my favorite. I mean, Coors is legendary around here. You know, whatever.
There's a place on the island I'm going to here in a week where they have something like 78 or 122 craft beers on tap behind the bar. And I'm going to go down yonder one afternoon, sit down, and just absolutely light that place up with my credit card. It's going to be great.
Sounds like a good time, man. Yeah.
I'm going to try. I'm going to eat more seafood than you can shake a net at.
Yeah, I love seafood, man. You come to town, Sasquatch, we're gonna have to sit down and throw down some seafood. Even though Denver isn't exactly a hotbed of seafood joints, you know.
It's on a air hub, just like Atlanta. We get our seafood from Atlanta largely.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
not. Hey, Toe for Life. Welcome to the show, brother. Good to see you. He's another real good one. I can't remember if I left him modded. Yeah, okay, he's good. He's still modded. I went through my mods the other day myself, thinned the herd a little bit. I also went through all the people that I had blocked. Yeah, you're staying blocked.
You have
No.
to do that every once in a while. You got to, man. You have to look at that stuff.
I had a real heart to heart with myself on that one, sitting there going, well, that's a bot, that's a bot, that's a bot, that's a bot. But those guys are all dorks. And I know where most of them come from too.
You know, I don't like blocking people, and Saturday, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to block another person from my channel. I don't like doing it. I personally have only blocked maybe 1 or 2 people on my channel. My mods take care of business. My channel is a non-drama channel.
Yeah.
It's because the drama's on the screen, right? What you're seeing on screen is the drama. I don't need the drama in the chat, right? So Saturday I'm unfortunately going to have to block another person that's left me some disparaging comments, and I know this person as a known racist and Nazi sympathizer, and I don't have time for that type of stuff. I've got way bigger and better things to do than to deal with nonsense in the chat, right? You know, that's why I got great mods, and they always handle business. Judd's in there. I saw Judd. What's up, Judd? Judd's a great mod. And Swizz Miz.
I'm pretty sure he's still a mod, although something about 2 different channels or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he had 2 channels. But he's Jen's in there. Jen is awesome. I wanted to get rid of that one the other day, MLH. Yes, Jen, you have you know, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, Jen. You know you're good on my channel, so I have no problem whatsoever. I trust you. I trust Ellie. You know, I just trust my mods. That punk MLH blocked me. Yeah. No, I didn't block you.
You just ain't talking over there, dude. Don't lie.
No, I've
You
seen
just
Toe
lurking.
over there. I've seen Toe over there.
Oh wow.
Do not MLH. Wow. Okay.
I love you. What's up, baby? We're going to After Dark in just a minute. We'll bring you right up on, Joe. Cool.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
baby.
no, I don't know. It's like you said, Sasquatch. I think I got something fairly unique. I mean, I'm not making waves in the 1A community like a lot of these up and comers. But I think I'm making waves in my own way, and it's as long as it keeps going up, the sub count, then I'm very extremely happy with that. And I know I'm doing the right thing, because if I wasn't, my sub count would be going down, and people would be complaining, um, not hating, but complaining about how I go about doing what I do. So it is what it is. But I'm happy with it, and I'm happy that your channel's picking up a little bit of steam, and a few others out there that are unique little spaces of YouTube that deserve way more love
Way
than.
more attention. Yeah. I mean, there are some great people in the underbelly of YouTube that you got to go dig through the trash. That's the only way to find them.
Yeah.
I mean, every narcissist with a camera, and almost every single one has a camera today, has their first thought is everybody wants to watch me. It's the people that needed a little bit of coaxing into it that are doing like really exceptional stuff,
Mm.
right? Because they're doing it from like the just straight from the hip. They're just doing what they see in their head and trying their best. Like American Justice of Texas. Hey, John, she has one of the coolest channels because it's a little bit of everything. The problem she has is she has a great idea, and then she goes, "No, nobody watched that." But that's just in her head.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
her own lack of confidence working against her.
Another channel out there that you should have on. I don't know if you have Sasquatch is Nikki's channel. I don't know what she calls it now. She's changed the name quite a bit. Now she's like Witchy Bitchy Nikki or something.
Nikki's happy life
Yeah,
or something like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
She's got kind of a cool little channel about homesteading and stuff like that. And
well,
and
I've got
she
a couple coming up that are along those lines.
yeah,
Yeah.
she had a problem with it because she didn't think people would be interested. And I was like, you know what? I would watch it. I mean, shit. I mean, a lot of people would watch it. And she's like, she still credits me to this day, even though it's all her. She's the one that started it and did it all, and all that. But
Disagree, Sig. I totally disagree. For every piece of trash you find, there's not one good creator. There's about 20 pieces of trash for every decent creator. And these are simply honest people
yeah,
who
yeah,
honestly have something they would like to share and they don't know any other way to do it. These aren't people who are like, everybody wants to watch me.
yeah.
I tried. I don't know if y'all have noticed. I have been minimizing myself on my screen almost out of existence because I don't want to be on camera. But every time I take myself off the camera, people complain, and I don't
Yeah.
understand why.
Oh, I would complain. I mean, if I can't see that beautiful grin beneath that beard, I'd complain too, man. I mean,
Yeah, but you made a show. You got anything you want to shout out?
Um, well,
Plan?
check out Nikki's channel. I mean, it's a cool little channel. I dig it. What else? I've been watching this Vox Machina on Amazon
Yeah,
Prime. It's actually really
dude. There's
fucking
a
cool.
scene in that show that is so native Dungeons and Dragons. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That scene where home cuz are arguing across the table and they keep doing this.
yeah.
Swear to God, I saw that exact conversation take place at a D&D table one night.
Have you ever seen Sasquatch that video? Are there any chicks in there? These people playing D&D. It's this audio thing. Are there any chicks in there? And he's like, no, there are no chicks in there. He's really irritated the DM, and then he keeps asking. Finally, okay, there's chicks in there. Yeah, but I want to do them. This whole thing. It was pretty funny. Um, yeah, most people are like MLH said, think that people should watch them. Um, who else? I mean, there's that I mean I was just watching. I know he's got a gazillion subs, but Bay Area Transparency is fucking phenomenal. He's got some fire videos, man, and he knows what he's doing. I like smaller channels like the whole DoorDash and Cop Watch thing, which I think
Oh,
is
that is awesome. Her Banana Anna. Her?
no Razor City Observer.
Okay, Banana Anna's doing the same thing. She door dashes and cop watches while
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
doing it.
Another one is a little, even a channel like Visage Spirits channel. He does karaoke.
Yeah, that's
I like a
it's
lot.
Jeez, that's a really cool channel. It's really hard to explain what it is that channel's about.
Right.
She's got a he, she, who I don't know. I could never figure out who actually runs the channel.
Yeah.
'Cause there's always like 9 people up there. I don't know
Right.
who, and they change their names constantly, so I never know
Who else? Supine Calamit's along the same line. She's out of the Philippines and an absolutely beautiful woman. But she does really cool like karaoke stuff. I'll stop in. I never do the karaoke myself, but I like listening in. I think it's just really really cool. You know, it's just good stuff. My favorite auditor of all time has to be the Batosai. I think he's just on a different level than
I
everybody.
I hate to be an absolute suck up. Um, I think I'd have to say it's lackluster.
I like Lackluster a lot, but
Here's
he's different.
He's he is different. That's why. That's
yeah.
what I mean. He's got other things that he does, and he doesn't always cross promote, right? So he's got another channel out there, and it's awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, the Batosai to me is the goat. Bay Area transparency, nothing but love for him. I'd like to get out with him and do some auditing just to learn and observe, you know. But I mean, there's so many little channels that are so good. I mean, obviously K Dot DJ K Dot the party. Um, he is. I mean, he's everything that you see on camera and more.
Yeah,
He's a
no,
man's man.
shuts them down before they get crunk up. It's
Right,
amazing.
right,
Also,
right.
Big Nick in South Florida, he's
Big
good.
Nick is another one. He's, you know, I'm glad you brought him up because he calls cops cockroaches,
Yeah.
and I think that's a much more apt term than pigs. I've been saying it for years, but
I just call them bad apples. All right, dude, check it out.
yep.
The Outside is Lackluster's other channel. Yeah, he doesn't often cross promote them very much. But yeah, I'm gonna do this whole play out and like start up the whole After Dark thing if you want to stick around.
I'll stick around. Oh, one more quick plug.
Of course.
AC's channel, AC Presents. I mean, that's a great channel. If you like drama, if you like the drama side of YouTube, that's a great channel.
I only barely dip my toe into those places because
yeah,
you have
I don't
give
hardly either.
crash on
But
it.
you know, but since I know all the players, I got to give AC a shout out. You know, so
That's the thing is I used to be a backstage player in a bunch of those shit show type
yeah,
things,
yeah,
and when I stopped doing the trolling and in general and decided to make a channel, I was like, all right, fine, y'all go ahead with it. But I still have that old asshole profile back there, and I occasionally go and listen.
yeah. High
Just to know.
Desert, Honor Your Oath was another good one. 357 brought up. I mean,
I
there's so many good ones. But I, you know, as far as little ones, Razor City, DJ K. Police the Police 719. Make sure you check him out. You know, I mean, there's
Alcor, what's the name? Tapatios.
Tapatios out down in Jose G's got a great channel where he does history. That's another one you might consider having on your show. He's a small one that does history of Wilcox, Arizona, and other things. He's got a great channel. I mean, there's some great channels out there. You just
There are some really good
gotta
ones.
find them.
I'm constantly coming across them. In a lot of cases, they just won't talk to me at all. I've found that it's a lot easier to go digging around in people who actively live stream to start with, although that has some effect of backfiring sometimes because you'll call and be like, hey, we should do this thing. And then they'll go do it on their channel. Like that's the same thing.
Kip LA is another great one. You know, I mean, there's so many good ones.
Oh, so many. Sorry. I
Kip
got
LA,
one.
Kip LA actually did the logo that you see on the screen there. He's a
That's cool.
very talented artist. So, you know, Sasquatch, of course, is everybody's favorite. So
I gotta, sorry, my inner narcissist. I couldn't help it. Oh. All right.
I'm done, man. That's all my plugs, man.
All right, brother. I appreciate it. I had a fantastic time. It's been a great show. It really has. I'm going to drop you backstage, talk to everybody for a second, do the little play out that I've got set up that might actually work because I fixed everything. And then I'll bring everybody back up. We're going to have about a minute and a half intermission, go get something to drink, pee, whatever you got to do, you know?
Yep.
So you'll get a minute. I won't. Thank you for coming by, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I'll stick around for the after show for a few, man. Should be
fantastic.
Right on.
All right, that's pretty much the show, and that's the way it goes, and that's how we do it. I appreciate every single one of you coming by and taking your time with us, whether you're here from MLH or from some other channel. If you find a link in my chat, or you find a channel on my playlist, which is Sasquatch Shills, you can find it on the channel list. Tell them Sasquatch sent you, mainly because it largely confuses people, and that's probably the most pleasant thing I've done this year. So, without further ado, I'm going to do this last little bit that I did, and it's going to be like this.
One that everyone loves is that I have spiders in my skin. I got my tongue split. I have tattooed my eyeballs. That's cool, right?
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!